What's going on there, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hobby Talk. I am your boy, Dr. Collectible. And shout out to my sponsors. They do their thing in the hobby. Number one auction company in this thing. We talking about Pristine, baby. Yes, sir. And make sure you utilize the code Hobby Talk to get $25 off your first purchase when you decide to get into one of them auctions. Now, for my guest this week, I have a guy by the name of Kunal. If you haven't heard of him, he is the founder of Sports Card Invest and as well NBA Downtown. Had a pleasure to have a great conversation with him and just about who he is, what he brings to the hobby, and as well having that business mindset. So, without any further ado, this is the interview. It's your boy, the Doc. Let's get it. All right, everyone. This is my pristine auction item of the week. We have a rookie card from Luka Doncic, Pink Ice, PSA 10. Now, I'm definitely interested on where this player is going to end up in the history books of the NBA. Being recently traded from the Mavs to my Los Angeles Lakers. We all know how the Lakers get down, and they just a winning organization. So if you're looking to get your hands on NBA history to be on the rising, make sure you go check out Pristine Auction and also to utilize that code Hobby Talk. All right, started now. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Doc, and we're tuned in to the show Hobby Talk. Shout out to Pristine Auction and what they do all the time for the hobby. I have a very special guest, Kunal. Not only that, founder of Sports Card Invest and NBA Downtown, which I'm very interested to talk about. Not only that, content creator, I look at him as an entrepreneur as well. And we both rock with Fan Arch, man. We both partner with him. So welcome on,
Sure.
man. Thanks for jumping on
Yeah,
this.
of course. Yeah, I'm happy to come on. Appreciate you inviting me on.
Nah, no problem at all, man. So I want to get into a little bit about you first. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm of course the founder of Sports Card Invest and NBA Downtown. As Doc said, I got my sports card journey started when I was, 10 years old. I grew
Mm,
up in the Bay Area, near San Francisco, and if you guys know the Giants, they won in 2010, 2012, 2014. So
yep.
I was the biggest Giants fan, and I wanted to collect anything I could Giants related. And of course, baseball cards, one of the first things I gravitated towards. I had three local card shops near where I grew up. It was just super strong baseball culture throughout school, just in the Bay Area in general at that time. So I would collect the guys like Buster Posey, Tim Lincecum, and that's what really like built my love for sports cards. Um, Fast forward a little bit, I got out for some time. Throughout school, I was, pretty entrepreneurial.
Hmm.
I would, attack different areas. I was doing sneakers for some bit during high school where I'd be
Oh.
flipping sneakers. Um, and I'm on the app StockX. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I all of a sudden see a sports card tab pop up. This was probably like 2019.
Oh wow.
And I was blown away. I was like, well, like people, how could you? I guess when you look at like the bids and the asks and stuff, you could see that there was something brewing. Um, but it was just such a different hobby from what I was in 2010 to 2014 when I was collecting heavy. Um, so I did full on research, followed all the influencers, went to shows. This was like right before COVID, and that's when I like really immersed myself, and I was just like, all right, this is my thing. Like this is right up my alley. It's entrepreneurship and sports cards, which is, sports cards were one of my first like real passions, in terms of collecting. So that's how I really like dove in, and then I was kind of already on that content grind with NBA Downtown.
Yeah.
I'd been building up social media platforms already. So my initial thing was just like, let me share my journey with the people. I'd be posting cards that I'd be buying and stuff. I would just be posting those cards every time I got a mail day. I would just post my mail day, and that turned into something so much bigger. I think everyone knows, what happened during that time.
Mm,
Such a hobby boom in terms of like when COVID hit, everyone was getting back in.
yep.
Um, so that's when I really, went just full force with it. Started posting more. I had so many DMs come in, like, "What are you buying next? What are you buying next?" So we kind of spun that into a program. So we've, you know, really enjoyed this hobby, and I feel like it's been a place that's super welcoming to everyone and has been such a dream in terms of passion between sports and, of course, entrepreneurship.
That I do agree with you. First off, us being just two different ethnicities and being able to enjoy something on a common
Yeah,
ground. We all know how things happen around the world, and we it's just good to be able to get away. So I love how you spoke on
yeah,
that. Being able to just bring so many different people together. I'm pretty sure you learned so much through your journey. I want to get into a little bit of what you jumped into first, which was the Bay Area. I know recently,
yeah,
was it the All Star game was there?
yeah. All-Star Weekend was in San Francisco for the first time.
Uh, so how was it? And I don't want to get off subject, but like, was you at
Yeah.
home during this time? During that weekend?
Yeah, I was back there, doing my little thing with just going out to events, networking. That was a lot for the NBA side, but
Mm-hmm.
also sports cards. There's a Panini event. There was
Right.
just so much going on in the space. I think at NBA Crossover, which is like an event there, they had a whole panel of like Sotheby's collectibles guys, tops guys who were, kind of bringing the hobby to people, just general basketball fans, people who may not know much about sports cards, but people who are super interested in the sport of basketball. So these are like some great crossover events where you can, these type of spaces being able to pitch the hobby and show people it's super, super powerful because if a lot of people share the same passions as we have for sports, yet, and, they're looking to make money out of it and they don't know about it, at least for me, when I heard about that, being a basketball fan, being a football fan, being a baseball fan,
Mm-hmm.
hearing, that there's an entrepreneurial side where you can turn watching the games into, a real business, I think it intrigued me and I'm sure it intrigues others. So we're also looking at for next All-Star weekend in LA potentially bring in a sports card event, um, which, you know, we feel is such a perfect place to just like it's a hub of where the NBA is at for the weekend and you know, turning that into a sports card promo, I guess you could call it, or just an introduction, for a lot of people is, I feel, very cool.
No, I love that, man. And the way you broke down All Star Weekend, not only you was there, to enjoy, the festivities, but also you came with an entrepreneurial mindset. I love that
Yeah,
aspect. That lets me know the hobby is going to continue to grow, because you got good
yeah,
individuals like you in it and bringing something different to it. Now, founder of Sports Card Invest and as well NBA Downtown. I want to get into that a little bit of your personal business and me, I understand how it feels to try to build a business. But for
yeah.
you, what was the thought process of coming with both of these businesses? And not only that, um, do you have a love for one or the other more? I'm into. I know we're supposed to love businesses all the same, but
Yeah,
what? I'm definitely interested in it.
yeah, for sure. So NBA Downtown, I first started.
Right.
That was back in 2018. It was more so just I was super involved in the NBA, or I was super interested in the NBA, and I just wanted to feel more involved, and kind of like my voice being heard in that space.
Hmm.
So that's when I would start to make those posts. It was just an Instagram account at the basic form, just making posts about something I loved. Didn't really think too much of it. I was still young. I was still just like, I had no idea if anything would come out of it. It was just something I wanted to do. So I honestly, in full transparency, I didn't think of that as a business when I started. I was like, I'm
Mm,
just doing something I loved. I didn't like making money wasn't on my mind when I started. So that was like strictly a passion project.
right.
And it still is to some extent. I don't like to advertise on there. I mainly use it for connections and to, you know, be a member of the NBA community, go to events, stuff like that, and just keep engagement good, make sure I got a good name there. That's kind of, I would say, what the NBA side is. Sports cards is a little bit different
Right.
because sports cards, as much as I love sports cards, I'm really interested in the business behind it.
Mm,
Um, like I really enjoy the day to day like grind of going to card shows, meeting new people, buying cards, selling cards, coming out with new products, new ways to kind of like help and contribute to the industry, um, you know, through content and all that. So that I'm more so the sports card side's really the main chunk where it's like this is something that I really want to do long term. I really want to be involved with. I really want to fully immerse myself in the space and add as much value as I can to the space. So in terms of which one I like more, I just think they're different. It's like two kids, right?
it's like, all right, that was a good
It's
analogy
like
because it's like me and my sister. I'm like, I guess whoever having the best day, whoever winning,
exactly.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure mom love us the same, but hey, sis might have a graduation day coming up. I had my graduation. Everybody has
exactly.
their day, so that's how I kind of look
Exactly.
at it. I love that. I love that analogy. That was a good one. So with your
Yeah.
businesses, right? I want to ask you this. Like for me, there was a spark the day I knew. Like, okay, wow,
Yeah.
this could be more than what I actually thought it was gonna be. What was it for you? For me, it was during hard times, going through some in my life and things of that nature. For you, like, was this something that you was already trying to prove and was like, okay, I want to do this, and it just happened, or it's like, like you said with NBA downtown, it was just a fun love for it, just became big. I want to know, when did that happen for you? When did it click? Was you at school? Was you, where was you chilling, eating? Like
Yeah.
when did that moment actually happen for you where you like, okay, are you looking to sell your collection? Well, guess what? You can co-sign your collection with Pristine Auction. And for a limited time, Hobby Talk fans pay no commission for 90 days and earn up to 110% on high value cards. You're talking about quick payouts and less fees. Now, you can email sales@pristineauction.com and make sure to mention Hobby Talk. Also, for buyers, you can utilize the Hobby Talk code to get $25 off your first win. Now we talking.
I think as crazy as it sounds, I feel like off the jump when I was on StockX and seeing that sports cards were a thing,
Mm,
it really just clicked and I was like, I know this is gonna be something because it was my first passion and then it tied in entrepreneurship so well. So it really felt like a match made in heaven from the jump, I would say. Um, which is kind of crazy. I can't picture like an exact moment.
right.
Probably when I bought my first couple cards, like
Mhm.
I pretty much sold all my sneakers and just put all that in. Like I was buying like Kobe Tops PSA 10s, like Luca Prism PSA 10s, like
Mm,
all that in 2019. And I'm trying to think of like what my thought process was at the time, but I really feel like it was a right away click, or at least like maybe like first week, first cards I bought, I was just like, I think this is really it, and there's something here, and I'm gonna go full. Like there wasn't two things about it. It was
mhm.
I'm gonna go all in, and I think there's something here. And of course, I did a lot more research, and I followed influencers, and really immersed myself in the space.
Right.
But I would say, yeah, from the jump, I was pretty set on it.
I like how you broke down and you just told our audience, you went all in. That's how it was for me with video games. I sold my Xbox Series X. I bought it actually for my birthday, $500. I remember.
Oh wow.
Um, Actually,
Wow.
I think it was like 550 at that time. When it
Okay.
first came out, and literally I was on the highway, going from state to state. I wasn't driving, but I was on the
Wow.
passenger side, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get
Yeah.
this Xbox for my birthday. And 6 months later, I sold it on eBay for I believe 12. No, I sold it for 1,200. Bought a Kobe
Wow.
Bryant card on eBay for
Okay.
900. Then got it graded and sold it on Golden for like 30. It was like 3,700. So like that was that time like where I'm like, oh
Wow.
wow,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you went in with the shoes. I just love that aspect and kind of how you broke that down, how you just went all in because I can recognize that too. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. There's sometimes where you just like I feel like you just know and you wanna, you know, it's I feel like we're both young, we're both, you know, we can take some risks and we can if you really believe in something, at some point you gotta, put it on the table and go all in and take that jump. So that was it for me.
I love that, man. I want to get into a little bit of your social media. You, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. I go to your social media. I think you going all in. It's the right idea. I see you with individuals
Appreciate it.
like literally guys. I'm on this social media right now, and I'm looking at some of these names like Steve Aoki. Michael Rubin, Gary V. I don't know how you met the champ. Uh, TriStar.
Yeah.
I mean, the national, but meaning
Yeah.
I never met Floyd, yo. I never met Floyd. Some of the places you have been, your journey is crazy. Like, what's one of your favorite moments for you? A
Ooh.
highlight moment of being in the car space will also get you around interesting individuals. So, is there anyone
Yeah.
top tier on your list, or do you have a couple names where you're like, okay, these moments mean special to
I gotta say, like thinking of like the best memory,
me?
I would honestly have to say Fanatics Fest. Just because I feel like it brought together my two worlds so well. Which is like the media aspect, the athletes, and the card side. So it was like the two sides of the show. I was like going back and forth, and I'm so excited for June because I feel like that's the one event that I feel like did it the best. The National does it great. There's other events that do it
Mhm.
great, but I feel like Fanatics was kind of next level when it comes to like blending the two worlds. Um, so that weekend was super memorable. Just like seeing all the guys in the building. Like, of course, you have guys like Jay-Z. I mean, pretty much anybody you name.
Anybody you can name, right?
Kevin Durant, Tom Brady. Um,
Yeah.
like you name the guy that were there. Which was pretty insane. Just to see them. I know they had like I think it was called like Club 40 or whatever,
Yep. 40/40 Club.
which was like right in the middle between the sports card side and like the activation side. Um, and that was like a place they were all at, and I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like they really pulled it off, in terms of like their vision, and blending the two worlds so seamlessly. Like it just felt like it was,
Like it was
a
supposed to
seamless
work.
event. But yeah, exactly. Because you don't like, I'm used to either going to a card show or going to like, whatever it is, like an event that is for networking, I guess you could call it. In my mind, how I think of it
Yes.
would be like one would be like a card show, one would be like a networking show, and this was like one side of the room and the other side of the room, which was pretty incredible. Even like the events that they had going on, like I know they had the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson
Mm-hmm.
press conference, like the interviews that they were hosting for like I know there was one with like KD and Anthony Edwards and stuff. Um, it just felt like everything there was like that was my world in one building, I feel like,
Definitely.
which was
Yep.
pretty incredible. So I gotta say that was my probably like my favorite moment in terms of just overall show, overall weekend, overall people I met. Um, and yeah,
Nice, man.
definitely Fanatics.
Yeah, man. Fanatics Fest it's next level. It's something where I said it brought like sports entertainment and sports cars together.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
both of the worlds was just able to collide. And I mean, you was able to either get into the octagon, um, you know, run a 40. You could and still
Yeah.
collect some sports cars by the end of the day. Like, yo, it was
Exactly.
crazy. Basketball, you name it. It was
Yep.
there. So I agree with you, man. That was a great time. I always looked at the national, like the Super
Hmm.
Bowl of like card shows. Like if there's the pinnacle,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like,
For straight cards, like National
yeah,
still
yeah, national is like the pin,
yeah.
but once again, like how you broke down, not just only sports cars, but like sports entertainment, crazy time.
Yeah,
I do want to get into a
for
little bit
sure.
of who you are personally. Kunal, what do you collect, man? Do you have like, so this is what I'm assuming. You're in the Bay Area, so you did bring up Barry Bonds. I'm guessing like I'm just gonna say the Giants in general. So I'm pretty sure you probably got like some
Yeah.
baseball, but your love in business, why it look like you had started with NBA downtown. So I'm interested to know like what do you PC? Is there a player? What sport? What is it for you?
I gotta say, like recently it's been basketball and football have been during the second kind of part of me being in the
Yeah.
hobby. They have been my main focus. Um, in terms of player, it's definitely got to be Steph. I mean, I've been watching him since he was a rookie, and I've been following his journey for that whole time, and to see how he's kind of like, I mean, in the Bay Area, he's the number one Mount Rushmore. He's like the only guy who's like truly just on another level. In terms of just like the culture he's changed in the area, he's changed basketball in general. Forget
Oh
about just the
man,
Bay Area. Like
yes. Yeah.
globally, he's changed everything, and just so fun to watch. I mean, I would say he's definitely the one guy who I'd be like, yeah, through everything, through all the eras of me first getting into cards to now, all the in betweens, even when I was out of it for a little bit, he's always been the relevant one who's stayed the course in I guess my life. So yeah, I mean 100% Steph. Um, from the get go, I have had his cards that I've bought literally his rookie year.
Wow.
So yeah, that hasn't
So
changed.
I got an interesting take on Curry, right?
Okay.
At first, the top four influential basketball players of all time to me was Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Even though I don't have like too much love for LeBron, like yeah, LeBron,
Hmm.
and it was Iverson.
Yeah.
Now
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Iverson brung a different culture, the braids, the attitude, the sleeve,
Yeah.
the crossover. You know how you hold the ball. Not that they had to change the rules and they called
Yeah.
it holding, not holding, but carrying now because he was able to just the
Yeah.
crossover. But with Curry, I said to myself, and I said this one of my close friends, Jose Rivera, shout out to him. He is a Curry fan, right? And I told him
Yeah.
this. I said it's one thing Curry needs to be in that top four for me, all time influential.
Hmm.
He did everything. He already got the unanimous, uh, you know what I'm saying, unanimous MVP.
MVP, all that. Yeah.
Everything, the rings. He just needed that MVP. That's it. And the
Yeah.
way he did
Finals
it.
MVP.
Come on, man. You
Yep.
got.
That was a special
That
year.
was and then against the Celtics, I really watched that, and I said when they was in the top four in the semis, no, not in the semis, but in the finals, Western Conference Finals, you had the Eastern. He was the only person that
Yeah.
had the most, like to me, the most experience out of all them teams that was there. So I knew automatically. I'm like,
Yeah.
if he's winning it, at least shoot for the MVP. I was mad he didn't do that with Toronto. when everybody fell
I
apart,
know
I felt like
that.
he should. They still should have won it. He should be sitting on 5, maybe what 6.
I know. I mean, think about 2016 if we're
I
talking
don't
about
even like
missed
bringing that one up.
opportunities
I
from.
don't even
I don't.
bring it
Yeah,
up, bro. That's why I didn't mention.
I don't either. I
it.
know, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind. Like, damn.
I know.
I mean, you know, yeah. 2022 though was that was a special year. I feel like that was the year where it
Hmm.
went from like he just kind of elevated because I feel like he lost KD, of course, coming off of some tough years, some tough
Yep.
injuries, to come back and like do that kind of carry job, I guess you could say, to take them all the way. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was probably one of my favorite years. I'd say like 2015, like that first time we won was
Oh
probably
yeah.
like I don't think I could ever beat that, but like 2022 was
It
pretty
was
damn
pretty.
close, I gotta say.
Yes, because it was like
Yeah.
after all the aftermath. Did Durant like? Is he going to win
It
it
was just,
again?
yeah, everything that happened, everything that people were saying, the media was kind of
Oh,
already out for us. I think like starting the year, we weren't even like on the radar. I don't think we were like on the top 10 teams in terms of like teams to watch. So that was like the real underdog moment again that I kind of missed during that years where like we were up here. It was like I missed that underdog feel of like us being counted out and proving them wrong instead of us coming into the year being like, we already know you guys got
yeah,
this, right?
man.
It's a different
No, man,
feeling.
I like that. Hey, look, Curry, PC wise, the fact that you collect him, I just had to bring him up and show him some love, cause yeah,
Yeah,
that's not a bad player to have. For
for sure.
overall, that on what we spoke on, I want to say I appreciate you, being in tune in a hobby, being something different, being a business minded individual. There could be some kid, and God knows where, sitting down could be watching this interview and could learn something from you, or you could spark the mind of the individual that could change the world, man. Like, I feel like we already trying to do enough to change, but I feel like also, you laying the foundation of individuals that might want to do what you're doing one day. So yo, kudos to you. Let the people know where they can find you, brother.
Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. It's been an honor to be on here. Um, yeah, on Instagram at sportscardinvest at nba.downtown. And then my personal is it's Kunal Ahuja, which is just it's and then my full name spelt out. So yeah, definitely stay in tune. Feel free to message if there's like questions you have, ways I could help you guys in your journeys. Whether it's what shows to go to or like any tips, always responding to people on there. So yeah, appreciate you having me on. It was fun to
Hey,
talk
yo,
to you.
thank you once again. Shout out to Pristine Auction and what they doing. Kanal, thank you. Shout out to your businesses and what you have going
Appreciate it.
on. Sports Card Invest and as well NBA Downtown. It's your boy the Doc. We out. All right, everyone. I appreciate y'all joining in for this interview. I appreciate Kanal breaking down who he was as an individual and just how he started off and where he's at now in his journey. I hope y'all was able to learn something from this, also from the entrepreneur mindset as well. And y'all know how I do. These conversations are just hobby talk. It's your boy the Doc. Shout out to Pristine Auction and utilize that code Hobby Talk today. Let's go.